We're living in a toxic culture where there's a cancel culture gotcha. We're not trying to elevate, we're trying to eviscerate. This woman has now depended upon, like her inspiration, Donald Trump, a racist trope. The black brute seeks the innocent white woman, and now I'm seeking lasciviously to approach her.
I mean, but did you try to hit on the white woman? Now, that was Eric Dyson, who's reeling over Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace, calling him out for sending her creepy texts immediately after he implied that she's racist on live national television. And he did imply that. Don't insult our intelligence. Now, it's incredible how he can decry cancel culture on one hand and then try to get her canceled for allegedly using racist tropes on another. So let's break this down, because in case you missed the story, it all started when Dyson and Congresswoman Mace appeared on the same CNN panel to discuss the presidential race. Mace, like many Americans, struggled a bit with Kamala Harris's name.
Talk about rerun Kamala's.
You had it right. You almost got it.
I will say Kamala's name any way that I want to.
No,
but
you mispronounced her and you also misjudged her.
I just did, and I'll do it again.
Mispronouncing her name.
That's what you're doing to acknowledge her humanity.
If I purposely mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies.
Okay, so she probably shouldn't have said, I will say her name how I want. But like clearly she wasn't intentionally trying to mispronounce her name. She started with Kamala and then she's like, wait, Kamala. She's probably confused because guess what? We have heard both pronunciations for many years now. And it's kind of frustrating when you're trying to make a point, a substantive point, right? I'm sure I probably disagree with whatever Mace was supposed to say or was trying to say, but it doesn't matter. She's trying to get her point out and she gets interrupted immediately over a small error. Now, that is when Dyson stepped in to make the obligatory point that, we've heard it before, white woman bad, very naughty. Let's watch.
This Congresswoman is a wonderful human being, but when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't a racist.
That is complete.
No, you don't have to intend racism to accomplish it.
You are intending that I am
Your disrespect
racist,
of Kamala Harris is part and parcel.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
You're not racist, you just did a racist thing. Come on. Now, Kamala Harris has a relatively unique name. We all know this. And people are going to accidentally mispronounce it. It's called life, and these little squabbles over this issue are insane. Especially when commentators like Dyson blow it out of proportion to make it seem like it's the perpetuation of white supremacy in America. Give me a break. In fact, maybe give all the Kamala Harris supporters you're about to hear from a break as well.
The hate campaign against Kamala Harris has begun. You'll notice they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. People like Kamala Harris. But as Kamala said, Kamala Harris. Kamala and I. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is Kamala.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was a very good prosecutor.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. I know her. Kamala was first Biden and Kamala.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris. And to the Kamala point, they purposefully pronounce her name wrong. They say Kamala. They do it all the time. It is on purpose. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris was talking about this.
Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Wow. A lot of people perpetuating white supremacy in America, including black people. Now, getting back to Dyson's tiff with Mace, after he implied that she's mispronouncing Kamala's name because she's racist, Mace did this on the House floor.
I would like to also enter into the record a screenshot of a text message I received from the esteemed professor from Vanderbilt, Eric Dyson, after my CNN interview, begged me for photos. In this text, he says, after calling me racist on CNN, shh, don't tell anybody, we look good together, and sent me a kissy emoji.
Without
then
objection.
The guy says I'm gorgeous in all these photos. I don't think he's that bent out of shape on how anyone pronounces Kamala. And if we're going to have that standard, you got to hold it to both sides, not just one or the other.
Damn. Now, as you can imagine, Dyson didn't like that. But before we get to Dyson's response to all of this, look, Nancy Mace, to be fair, is not innocent in all of this, okay? And honestly, in this saga, her biggest crime, those massive tacky earrings. Like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing, girl? Like, I respect your religion, okay? But like, maybe smaller cross earrings? Why do they have to be so big? Okay, anyway, let's get back to Dyson. He didn't like it, so he wrote on X, quote, her white women's tears and mendacity are all in the service of lies and distortions. I was wrong about one thing. She is a bigot and racist. No, you thought that to begin with. Let's keep it real. Now, in an effort to defend himself, he also took to social media to say that he's not doing anything weird. I mean, he writes creepy messages to lots of women. Watch.
These are other people that I interacted with recently, my friends, some of them. My friend Allison, I said, nice, you look gorgeous. Look out, Texas, here she comes, talking about that. Nell Painter, a world-renowned historian, on her Instagram, I posted after she posted about she's a Mary Ellen von der Heyden Fellow in Letters of the American Academy in Berlin. In public, I said gorgeous and brilliant all at once. A heart with a face that's smiling with hearts and a kissy face, right? I said, keep up the great work. Then there is my friend Terry, who I was giving tickets to for the Democratic National Convention. I said, you know I can if I will. Everybody and their mama want these tickets for today. You look gorgeous as always. Then my colleague Lisa at Vanderbilt, when we took pictures, I sent them to her and I said, me and Miss Gorgeous. And then Councilwoman Mary Sheffield, who is a councilwoman in Detroit, and I said, gorgeous and brilliant leader. Bless you and thank God for your courage, strength, and leadership. And then my dear friend Susan Taylor, a renowned editor, queen, that's what I call her. So good to see you today. You look gorgeous as always, and your soul-inspiring conversation was uplifting as always. Feel better, love y'all. And then finally, to Dana Bash. Well, I congratulated her on the interview she did with Kamala Harris. And then on another interview, saying people of color are eating cats, that's racism. I was quoting her. I said, thank you, Dana Bash. Besides being brilliant and courageous, you also look gorgeous.
Wait, no kissy emoji for Dana Bash? What's going on here? Look, obviously that's not the defense he thinks it is. Maybe don't send unsolicited evaluations of women's appearance in a professional setting. Especially as a married man, I would not be happy with my husband if he's sending kissy emojis to other women, especially at work. And have a little grace for people instead of immediately assuming they're driven by hatred and racism. But no, he just can't get himself to do that. So he doubled down on The View.
We're living in a toxic culture where there's a cancel culture gotcha. We're not trying to elevate, we're trying to eviscerate. So when it comes to Nancy Mace, you see I tried to be nice to the woman. I said, you're a wonderful woman. I lied. I then said, but I tried to be nice to her. And then even when I pointed out to her what the repetition of the misnaming of Kamala Harris would do, she got defensive. Oh, you're calling me a racist? No. To all of these white Christians, and she's one of them, the Bible says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and turn their face to God and turn away from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and then I will forgive their sins and I will heal the land. They have not forgiven themselves. White Christians hate themselves for the past wrongs that have been done. And I'm here as a loving Christian to say, let's grapple with that past, acknowledge the historic legacy of supremacy. Don't deny it. Don't erase it. Don't eviscerate it. Don't remove it from the history books. Confront it. And then when you forgive yourselves, we can go forward.
White Christians of today are not responsible for the atrocities that were committed by the United States centuries ago or decades ago, unless they were involved in perpetuating the unequal treatment of Black people or in favor of maintaining slavery. There's no reason for them to apologize for the crimes committed in the past. And I am curious, has Dyson forgiven himself for sending unwanted messages to women in professional settings? You know, the Bible says, if Dyson is worried about the toxicity of cancel culture, as he alleged on The View, he should stop weaponizing race for cheap political points. And I totally agree with one of our viewers, Rio Hand, who makes a great point about Kamala Harris herself, because she has not made an issue of her name being mispronounced. I have never heard her complain about it once. Maybe we should follow her lead and stop turning a small issue into some sort of statement about white supremacy in America. It cheapens real instances of racism, and it leads to a boy who cried wolf scenario when real racism happens and people are less likely to take it seriously because everything is considered racist, including an honest mistake like mispronouncing a unique name.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.